is it just an everyday thing? Or, or you feel like it's cool to just be, girlfriend and boyfriends for the rest of their life, for the rest of y'all life?
Well, you know what? I am going to say this, and I'm going to step on so many toes that are listening and watching. And it's, he don't even know what I'm about to say. He's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to just, y'all know, people that know me know I keep it real, like all the way. Even if you don't like it, if you're happy, if you're not, it is what it is. You don't have to follow me. But women, ladies, listen, Linda. I'm looking at all the cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 of them. We need to value ourselves more to tell these men that we're with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, put a ring on it, and this needs to be a title of not just entitlement, but marriage, of the value of the becoming one. I'm going to say it. I am, because I have people, and I'm going to keep it real. I have some of my, some followers and my friends, whatever. And this is no shade to nobody directly. So if you take it wrong, then maybe you should pray, see why you feeling wrong. That you are with the dude 10, 15 years. You got 2 kids, 1 kid, 3 kids, 5 kids, whatever kids. And you're not valuing yourself enough to say, I am marriage material. And then side note, are you marriage material? Because some of us, and this is what Brandon said the other day, some of us are praying for the husband, but we're not praying for us to be the wife material to have that husband. Right? So women, ladies out there, and I have, this is big for me because, like Brandon knows, when we were together, it was about 3 to 4 years. We were together. We had Francisco, and long story short, I had a talk with him, and I was like, dude, we live together. How are we going to church together? We're not even married. We got this baby. That was wild, right? We do everything together like we were married and we were a couple. But technicalities, I was the girlfriend. I was the baby mama. Even though we were together, people in the street see you as the kid's mother. And I know this for a fact because I experienced it. And I have that on my notes. You experience the difference of being respected as the girlfriend, the baby mother, or the wife. True. And I felt that, no shade, with his family. I felt the difference with his family. Like, let me tell y'all, he's straight from the South. Southern values, religious, serious family. I love my in-laws and everybody. But I noticed his family when I was just a girlfriend. And then I noticed when I was Francisco's mom. And then I noticed the fiance. And then I noticed the different levels when it was, I'm the wife now. Now, even his dad, when we first got married, his dad said it. Like, this is your wife. It's a whole different level of the respect. It's a whole different level of value. It's a whole different level of commitment. And, if you're out there and you're ladies, you're like, I don't want the commitment. I don't want this. I don't want that. Listen, I get it. I was scared because, eventually when we had to talk, I said to him, dude, we got the kid, the crib, we got all this stuff going on. This ring need to be on here and we need to get this marriage going. And if you're still not sure that I am the one for you, then we don't need to be playing house anymore.
Well, that's the thing.
Because that's what it's called.
Yeah, and also the thing is, and this is what happened with a lot of guys, it's like, why get married when I'm already getting the wifely duties?
Oh, man. Listen, we need to write that topic down. Ladies, let me talk to y'all about this. You heard the man said it himself. The husband said it himself. Some of us women, we're doing wifely duties, wifely activities, wifely things, and you're not the wife. So now the dude is like, well, I got to put a ring. Well, I got to make her my wife for what? She's already cooking, cleaning. She gives me some. Don't get me started with some of y'all saying this is my husband and y'all not even married. Like I said, I'm stepping on so many toes. It is what it is. It's just somebody got to say it, and that's going to be me and us tonight. I really, my husband. No, he's not your husband. He's your boyfriend. He's your kid's father. oh, my fiance, no. And then being engaged for 13 years, come on, stop. You got the ring. Let's set the wedding up. If the funds is not there to make a big old wedding, which you don't need to, because listen, we were able, Brandon told me the budget, which was, I'll be real, $5,000 or less for wedding and a honeymoon. Do y'all hear me? Wedding and a honeymoon. I was like, what? Like, where they do that at?
Well, that's because I wasn't going to go into debt.
Yeah, because which I didn't understand that at the time, which I'm grateful and thankful for him and saying that, because I would have been like, $50K, let's go. I would have went all the way.
A lot of those people that spend those $50K be the first ones to get
divorced. And you spend all that money for a wedding, and then you still paying off the wedding that you divorced already. But anyways, back
to the point.
So, but yeah, so if the wedding causes an issue, it's okay to go to court, and it's okay to save up. And second of all, and this is a whole off the topic, but second of all, who says y'all need a whole 250 people wedding and spend 10, 20, 50K? Who says that? Please tell me that.
Yeah, because the wedding is actually...
It's for you. Yeah, the wedding could have just been me and Brandon.
Yeah.
But, of course, we had our close friends, our close family. And guess what, guys? We went to Dominican Republic. And I was able to spend it was literally right at like the $4,000, $3,000 for the wedding and our honeymoon, which we did a 10-day trip to Europe. Because the honeymoon is for us, the wedding is for us. Why are we spending and treating y'all for all this food, $50K in the debt, and then we go on a honeymoon and we can't even, we go to downtown Atlanta because we spent all the money in the wedding. Like, we wasn't doing that. But anyway, so that's a whole nother subject. But yes, ladies, I just wanted to get into that because it has happened where we it's okay to talk to your boyfriend or your fiance and say to them, like I did with him, I said, hey, babe, we love each other. We have Francisco. We've been together almost 5 years. You know by now, listen, a man knows, Steve Harvey said, I think 2 years, 3 years in, he said he knows, babe. Do you remember?
I'm not sure, but
I think it was something like that. If they want to marry you or not, if you're wife material or not, if you're for him or not. And I said to him, and y'all probably don't know this, I told Brandon, if this is not going to be for marriage, then we can go our separate ways. And and let me tell you, it wasn't easy. It broke my heart if he would have been like, okay, bye, see you later. Because we have Francisco. But I wasn't going to play house. I wasn't going to be the baby mom, the girlfriend, the other chick, the one chick, side chick, many chicks. I wasn't doing it. And I said to him, I did give him an ultimatum with the time. I'm not playing. I was not playing. And some of y'all going to say, well, he had no choice. He did. He had the choice to say, I'm straight. She gave me this talk. I'm going to just walk away or just not do it or whatever. But Brandon knew my value and he honored that. He honored the fact that, Jen respects herself and has that value, that she is more than just the girlfriend and baby mom. It's more than that. But that's a whole other topic. I'll get into that with my ladies. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, I don't agree. Okay, that's on y'all. And y'all still single with no ring. Anyways, go ahead.
So, the fact that you're married, and once you become married, you're pretty much obligated to a person. And I mean that in a positive way.
Some of y'all don't like he just said obligated.
You're obligated to
y'all don't want to be obligated and be single forever.
And you made a promise under God. You made a promise under God. So,
but Brandon,
I'm speaking to my fellas real quick.
But wait, babe, what if your fellas don't believe in honoring God? Or what do you say? What did you just say about God?
You made a promise.
Promise to God. What if some people don't believe in that?
Well, most weddings, that I know of, you say your vows and you say it's written out of the Bible, through death to his part, through sickness and health and all that stuff. So those are covenants that you're making under God, which God is also making a promise to you as well. And so I say like this to most of my fellas, I say if, you making a promise under God and you're not a man of your word. Now, I'm not saying mistakes don't happen. I'm going to say things happen. Not mistakes, but things happen. And if you're not a man of your word under God, then why should the woman that you marry believe that you're a man of your word and trust you? I was thinking... That's
good. Y'all ladies take note, man, and men.
And then also, you both want to be equally yoked. You both want to be equally yoked. That's one thing, you get married. And then, Another thing, we can go back to that topic. I know this is gonna hit a nerve right here, but like Jen was saying, you've been with that man for about, or that lady. It could be vice versa too, because it could be some ladies.
Yeah, that be scared.
And the man been trying to marry her for the last 4-5 years.
We had a friend like that. He was like, I'm ready to marry her, and she was just so scared for years. I don't know if they ended up getting married or not. He might have moved on.
So it could be vice versa. And then also right here, which I know is going to strike a nerve, is when you spending that time with that person and stuff like that. I got a couple points I'm about to hit on. Are you grooming that person for the next person?
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
Now you might need to write that for another men's night.
Yeah, so you might be grooming that man for the next woman.
And then, that's the one. That's the time that a woman be like, he with her, and he's everything I wanted now that he's with her.
Yeah.
Well, why you think that?
Because you gave him all the privileges of a wife without being married, and the same thing,
Drop the mic.
Are you grooming them to be the next woman, or this one right here? Are you just being the convenient one?
What do you mean?
By not being married, are you just the convenient thing?
Convenient couple.
Yeah, like when I feel like messing with you, I call you up. When I feel like hanging with you, I call you up. When it's convenient for me, you're my girlfriend.
So, but you're saying like if they don't live together.
Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or, like I said, when it's convenient for me, are you my girlfriend when it's convenient for me? And vice versa for the girl. Is he convenient for you when you ready to go out to eat or you ready to go shopping? Oh, now he your man. He your man when it's time to go shopping. He your man when your rent is behind and you need somebody to pay. Oh, that's babe right there. You know what I'm saying? So, are you convenient? And then, like I said, you giving out all these things as if you was a husband or as if you was a wife and you don't have a title. How does that work? I'm just saying these are
but this is the hard part, babe. The hard part with what you just said is you can have somebody, which I know I got some people that are chiming in, that you are with your person. Let's just say, this is an example. I'm not saying anything directly, or I know, I'm just saying an example, right? 10 is easy because it's just number 10, right? 15. Let's say you're with somebody 10 years. Let's say you got a kid. You guys are living like we were, living together. You're doing all the marriage stuff, all the husband-wife stuff. Now, the question is, if they're both comfortable, why bring in, let's get married?
Well, for one, once you get married, God started blessing your marriage.
Oh, yeah, I have that note too, babe. You wrote that note?
Yeah.
I wrote that too. So, look at God.
So God starts blessing your marriage because, see, that's what, He wants from us, actually. He wants to bless our marriage. He wants to see that. Because, and then now, not only are you blessing your marriage, you also, like you said, if you got kids involved, you're showing an example for your kids.
Oh, I have that too, babe.
If you got kids involved, you giving them an example of what life should look like.
Right.
Also with that 10, or 15 years and y'all
whatever, it could be 5.
Yeah, 5 or whatever. And you're comfortable with that person, anything can be a deal breaker. Anything. So
that's a good one because I know I wrote that you can walk out anytime, married or not married.
Yeah.
But not married, let's talk about numbers really quick, right? Not married, you could just be like, I'm out. See you next time. Don't gotta pay nothing, do nothing, see nobody, nothing. Married, now you sitting back thinking like, man, I got some attorney fees, I got court fees, I got divorce fees, I got the paperwork.
Yeah, and that's what, that's another thing about marriage too. With the divorce rate and, the married, stuff like that. If it costs as much as it costs to get married, to get a divorce, I know a lot of people be walking away like, here my $25, $50, $100, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why it costs so much, and it's so many things into tie into having a divorce, because it's not an easy situation to walk away from.
And of course, we're not saying don't get divorced because it's expensive. Because if you're not happy, which I wrote this, if you're not happy in your marriage, of course, seek counsel. If you're getting abused, of course, seek counsel. Y'all know I'm the therapist on this, right? So if you're getting abused emotionally, physically, mentally, of course, seek counsel. Then divorce is a whole different, situation on the table, even in the Bible, right? So, but like Brandon was saying, God anoints the union, right?
Correct.
So he anoints the union. It's in the Bible. I wrote, listen, I wasn't playing. I even got verses, right? Go to Ephesians 5:31 and 32. That's one of them. I didn't write every exact thing, but that's one of them. And then 1 Corinthians 7:3-5 talks about when the marriage becomes one, when you're anointed as one, right? And one thing I did notice a difference from Married with Us was, and this is what our pastor counsel does, he said, watch the difference in the arguments, in the fights, and the problems from before marriage and after marriage. Before we were, and some of y'all that are married might even think back and be like, oh my gosh, I even remember that trigger. Before we were married, our arguments and fights were no bueno. Like, we were arguing a lot more. We were fighting a lot more. Like, we could not tie into one because we weren't. Like, it would always be, because come on now, ladies, in the back of your mind, come on, man, let's be real. We are in the back of our mind. Like, I'm not this dude's wife. Like, who does he think he's talking to? Who do he think I'll do that? Like, you start saying all these things. Like, I'm the girl, all these stuff. And compared to when you do finally get married, that union that God blesses, it just brings, for us, I think it was peace. It brought a lot of peace. And I'll be honest with y'all, my friends, I got my boy Q on the line. What up, Q? My friends know that, see, I lost my train of thought. I was about to say that because my friend said, I don't necessarily disagree with that you're saying, but look up the history of marriage. And I don't care about the history of marriage. It's not about the history of marriage. It's about what marriage is and the union, what God does to bring you together. It's not what history? The history I got is my grandparents being married for 80 years. The history I got is, my aunts and uncles being married 20 something years. So I don't understand when it's a history of marriage. You're saying, one of the comments is, it's always been a business. I beg to differ, because this is not a business. Guaranteed, we have a business together. But in your mind, if the history, and I get what you're saying, because I know I've had a lot of comments where people say, oh, marriage, it's a business. You could get married and pay somebody to marry you. It's a lot of different. That's like a whole nother ballpark. We don't see marriage as a business. God doesn't put marriage as a business.
It's a covenant.
It's a covenant.
It's not like some people like to take this thing as a contract.
That's a good one. Contract versus covenant. We talked about that at our church.
Yeah. So that's the thing right there with it.
Because if you go into them, if you're thinking, a marriage is a business, of course you're already lost. You're already out the game, because businesses go bankrupt. Yeah. Businesses lose business. Yeah. Businesses might succeed, might not succeed. The marriage, it should succeed. You should look at it at the fail.
If you don't want to, and that's the thing right there.
Was good though.
And another thing with that is also, and I put in my notes, what are you building together? Mm-hmm. Now, with a business, you could build stuff, but you want to build a legacy with your family. Mm-hmm. You want to build a tradition. Traditions are really important, and a lot of people in this world, and a lot of families got away from the tradition, like from what used to be the real sticking together as a family and working together, Yeah. A legacy is really important, especially to pass on to like your kids. When you can sit at that table, and I haven't made it there yet, but I know it makes somebody to be proud to be a great grandma or a great grandfather, then see that their family has grown and blossomed and two families came together and married
in a union.
And I know I see my friend put
it means different things to different people. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you do see the different success rate, for my Christians on here. And I am going to throw that on here. The ones that have a relationship with God and really understands what marriage is in God's eyes and in the Bible. Because y'all know, me and Brandon, we are number one God first. And you can have your belief, that's on you. But we're working our marriage the way God has it in the Bible. The way God puts, him first, marriage first, him in the center. So he says, for men, not all, we can go without marriage. We do it. It makes y'all happy. Yeah. And I get that part, because like we said earlier, there are cases where some men don't really care about marriage. But why is that? Like, why?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead, because you're the man.
Because, like, it feels like this in a situation, prior to being married. I was a single man, had my own place, own car, own money. I felt like hell. All I needed a girl was to get some yaya. You know what I mean? That's all I needed her for. When I wanted some sex, but is that the right way to be living? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what I talked about too, as far as, with sin. And that's the thing about the title of being married, because...
But wait, the second part, he said it's, they do it to make us happy. I don't agree with that part. It's not all about just the women, the female being happy for the marriage. Like, and this is it's a hard topic, because a lot of people don't want to see the actual facts and realisticness of, what marriage really should value, what marriage really should mean. Yes, we all have different meanings, but guess what? Guess who has the meaning? Guess who has the one and only meaning? God. Whatever you believe in, then okay, you look that up. You know what I mean? So it's not just like Brandon didn't just say, okay, because just to make Jen happy, let's just get married.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, a lot of people that have the different mindset of that way are usually the ones that are not married, that are living with the girlfriend or the kid's mom or whatever. But realistically, if you guys became one and really look into the word and really what that's going on, you will see so many more blessings. And that's a big thing. It talks about that in the Bible. The difference in the union with the blessings of God and how you're going to be blessed. Like, y'all don't understand when it comes down to me and Brandon at the beginning, before marriage, it was a lot of like the argument, the bickering, the this, the that, the this. And then as soon as we made that covenant, and even our pastor talked to us about this, we started seeing our relationship unfold as one, our peace. We started seeing our blessings. Like the blessings they overflow. And I'm not saying because you're not married, you're not getting blessings. I'm not saying that. However, it does say, I go back. Y'all, listen, don't mess with me when it comes to the Bible. It goes back to the word. He does bless the union. He blesses the family. He blesses the home. He blesses the marriage. Look it up. I promise you. And I'm not saying that, because Brandon and I are married, we have 5 blessings today and you might have got 2 yesterday. I'm not saying it like that, but just see the differences in the relationship and the status and the peace and the happiness and the union compared to the not united as one in marriage, right?
Yeah, and then, at the same time, if you're not married and a guy y'all having sex, y'all having sex, right? It's no different. And
this part is huge. Let's go. We going.
It's no different from a guy going out there to have sex with a random.
As much as you love the person,
as
much as you care about them, as much as she might have had 13 kids for you, your sex and the neighbor's sex and the side hoe thought sex and all them other situations, it's just sex.
And it's a sin. Either way it goes, it's a sin. So nobody's valuing nobody at the end of the day, And you might be in that relationship with say, hey, we get it in 3 times a week, and you ain't even married. It don't matter if he get it in with you 3 times a week and he get it in with the neighbor 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. It's still the same sin.
Or if it is only you 3 times a week, it's still
a sin.
The sin, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of people, that really should have been the number one thing to knock this whole conversation out the park. But nobody really talks about it and thinks about that, because I remember our pastor said, He said, you know, when you're married and the union becomes one and the sex and the intimacy, he said, man, that thing do fireworks and the Holy Spirit come in. And we were like, what is happening? Like, what is he talking about? So this is the beginning, right? So then as the years went on in our marriage, as we got closer to each other and as we got closer with God and the relationship started growing, do I tell y'all, and I'm not going to get too deep into the conversation, but the intimacy with the sex and the marriage and oneness, I thought about the pastor like fireworks. Now I know what he was talking about. It's just a whole different ballpark. Like Brandon would tell me a lot, like, babe, I love when we become one.
And that's the thing about it.
Word, let's go.
And you know, the crazy thing, this kind of like, and I know we talking about this kind of actually shocked us.
Hey, cousin.
Is at our church that during sex, when you marry, you can invite God into the bedroom. You can invite,
now it's getting spicy for my married couples.
You can invite God into
you can even play gospel music while y'all getting it in. And it's funny because we had Pandora popping and one of the pastor gospel songs came on and Brandon was like, you want to change it? Or I think you asked me or something. And I was like, no. Keep Jesus Almighty in the mix. He had me turned up because this is my husband. Like, I don't feel bad. I don't feel ashamed. That's a big deal. And it's not because, we have the kids, we live together. No, it's because that union, that anointing of one. Y'all got to really read, I think it was the Ephesians, the 5:31. It goes deep, or maybe the Corinthians 1. It goes deep into the bodies that come one and what God wanted that for the marriage to be. So,
and you know, if you're on or whatever and you married or whatever, do you invite God into your bedroom before y'all get into it? You know, do you pray about the situation? Do you, invite him in? Because
you can even be like, thank you, Jesus. Yes. Brandon knows. Lots of times, and I know you want to say this, say whatever. Lots of times, after the fact, I'll be like, and he be laughing. I'll be like, thank you, God, I love my spouse. He's so amazing. Thank you, Jesus. Brandon be like, for real, babe? And I'm like, I'm grateful and thankful. Thank you, Lord Almighty. Because it's such a beautiful thing. It's different. And I will say, because we are discussing marriage, I will say, for my unmarried people, y'all won't understand it. You won't understand it. If you're with your girlfriend for 100 years, you won't understand it. If you're with your kid's mother for 25 years, you won't understand it. 5 years, 3 years, I don't care what it is. If that union and that relationship and that God is not in there, you're just never going to understand what we're saying. And we want y'all to understand it.
And so, again, another key point is, what if there's an illness between you and your girlfriend or boyfriend?
I too.
What if there's an illness? They don't have to stick by your side. They don't got. I'm not saying that the fact that you married, you have to, but you made that covenant.
You made that vow in sickness and in health. In sickness and in health. What is it?
Yeah, but if you my girlfriend or you the boyfriend and they sick on their deathbed, you can be at the club partying.
Or right, be like, bye.
I'll wait till she get better.
Or what about with the rights?
Yeah.
You went, like, God forbid.
You can't come in the hospital room.
Listen.
Are you his wife?
Listen, we've had cases. I've seen it. The spouse is deathbed. And it's like, do we pull the plug? The girlfriend has no say.
Exactly.
They had to talk to the mama. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? The girlfriend is right there praying for her boyfriend. Did not want to pull the plug. She had no say. The doctor said, you're not his wife, ma'am. We need to talk to his mother because, that's the next kin. Like, we got to talk to his mother. And the mother and the family decided, and this is a true case, the mother and the family decided to pull the plug. The girlfriend said no. The doctor said, we are sorry, ma'am, you are not his wife. It don't matter if it's on paper, written about the girlfriend rights. It don't matter what it is. is for real, when it comes to legal things, it's a spouse. If there's no spouse, it is the next person can. And this has happened even like when we go to the hospital, like when we have the boys.
Yeah.
They literally, are you the father?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Are you the husband? Because the father can go in, but the wife or the women can say no, but the husband can say, yes, I'm going in. I'm her husband.
Yeah.
The boyfriend, oh, too bad. You're the dad, but you can't go in. Let's ask the mom.
Yeah.
It's happened.
And I seen this when women are having babies, and they got a boyfriend, and that week they're going through their pregnancy, they mad at the boyfriend. Oh no, you're not gonna see this delivery. You can't even see your first child being born or your child being born.
Even if Brandon was mad, if he's my husband, gonna be like, I'm there.
Yeah, and they're gonna be like, and what you could do, you can't do nothing. If she's mad at you that week, she about to have a baby, and she say, I don't want him in here. Or even if you snuck out and crept, you know she definitely ain't gonna say, I don't even want him in the hospital.
Right.
You know?
Because I'm glad you mentioned the creeping part. Because, and of course we know you can creep anytime. Married, not married, single, divorced.
Yeah.
And you could do whatever you want. Like, use your body. However, we're hoping that marriage, the vow, the integrity, the honesty, the love, the commitment, the covenant covers you to know that adultery is a sin. Like, you go to hell for adultery. People forget, and this is what me and Brandon talked about the other day. People forget there is a hell. The pastor talked about this. There is hell, guys, okay? And if you are not saved or you do certain sins, you're gonna go. Like, to go with that guy. We don't want that.
And another thing, far as going back to
the rights.
To the rights. So if your boyfriend passed or your girlfriend passed, and y'all been living in this house. Y'all been living in this house together.
You gotta fight.
You might have to fight the family. Maybe the family don't even like you.
As a matter of fact, you won't even have to fight the family because automatically, and I know this because I work with the courts and I work with children, automatically it goes to the family members. Yeah. Like the mom, the grandmother.
In certain cases.
In most cases. Unless the boyfriend goes to court.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, what would happen is they would go to the state.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say that again. Hold on, let me say that again. Your child or children, 9 out of 10, I believe most states, don't quote me on this, I believe from my background, there's no spouse. Before they either give to family or to the boyfriend, fiance, whatever it is, they go that day. Like today, something happens, that night, your kids or child is going to sleep in the state foster care or in between process care, right? Maybe if a grandmother comes in or mom right away, like, no, I'm here, I'm the mom, blah, 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 maybe. But that's a big deal. Because now, who knows, you might take years to go to court and be able to get your kids.
Or the actual property is left to the kids. Are they? It might be left.
It might be 10.
It might be left to either the teenager that don't know how to handle that. Now they're the executive of state, and you supposed to be the wife, but you the girlfriend
living there. Now you gotta find a place to live.
Now you got the teenager. It could be that girl teenager that's mad at the mama for some reason, do something spiteful. Like, I don't have to give you no money.
Yeah,
it was left to me. You know,
because she's underage, it most likely will go to a family member now to make these
decisions. Until they're 18, and if they're above 18, it depends on what's the relationship with the mom.
Yeah, so that's
a
big deal too, because when you talk about rights, even us married, like when I want to take the boys out of the country, they ask me, Brandon has to write a letter and notify, like, ask my husband and the father of my kids, yes, they're allowed to go out the country. Right? If we were not married, he would have to write some kind of letter stating that it was okay to his kids to go out of the country. But because we're married, if I don't have the letter, they won't usually trip. As far as when you're leaving the country, you're coming in and all that stuff. So it's a lot of things that is more than just
Is marriage just the title?
The title of the covenant, the commitment, the this, the that. Like it's into the legal stuff. It's into the long-term stuff. It's into finances.
Mm-hmm.
Finances. Is your partner your beneficiary? Right? If you lots of times girlfriend or boyfriend, I'm pretty sure you're not on there.
Yeah.
Like, because I wasn't until we got married. Brandon's like, okay, man, I'll put you on there now. I was like, really? I should have been there. I'm your kid's mom. But it doesn't matter. The guy, he didn't care. No offense, Yeah. But realistically, it was his dad.
It was my dad and my kids.
And his kid and the brother.
Yeah. It was my dad, kid, and brother.
Because,
and what a guy's thinking is, something happened to me. What's she going to do? Take this money and be with the next guy? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Take this money and be with the next guy and show him a good time.
Which still can happen if you're married.
Yeah, it still can happen.
But the value, the integrity of the wife. We go back to that. We go back to the type of wife, the understanding because not only is the title marriage important, but is the title wife important? Mm-hmm. Is the title husband important?
Yeah.
Now, again, how
does that feel? That's a whole different confidence level right there.
Yeah, it is.
When you're really married, you can say
you really was not married.
When you, like you said,
when the routine marriage.
Yeah, you're saying, "Oh, we've been together, we married." No, you're not married. It's not legal. But it's the confidence. You know what I'm saying, that a woman feels when she could really say her husband is her husband, and he can say, "Oh yeah, well let me talk to my wife about it." There's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Even when you get into certain situations that you really don't feel like dealing with right at hand, it's good to even be able to say,
as an excuse,
be like, "Hey, I gotta talk to my wife," and that's a good thing because right there you're on the same page. Mm-hmm. It's nothing that if she say yes or no, it's the fact that y'all on the same page about what's going on in the household and situations. So,
but that goes back to like my friend was saying.
But if I wanted to make a decision.
You can.
I can, and I ain't gonna be like, she'll get over it.
That's a non-married attitude.
Yeah, she'll get over it. Whatever. I made this big decision.
But wait a minute. But then that goes back to guys. Listen, it's a connect the dots situation. Cause see how he just said, if we're not, he'd just be like, whatever, I'll do what I want. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. So then what happens? Then you go back to your girlfriend or baby mama. And then now you guys have an argument. Now you guys are fighting. Now it goes back to the turmoil that I'm trying to explain from the married and the unmarried. What happens? Why marriage is not just the title? Because marriage for us is like, yo, let's talk to each other. Finances. Let's talk to each other. Let's talk about it. There's, we have certain rules. Like, okay, if it's this amount, we talk it out. If we're gonna do this or do that, we talk it out. It's not just like when I was single, living my best life. I'm just like, oh, well, I just booked a whole vacation and I'm going out and I'm see ya. And it's like, wait a minute, what about the kids, the house, the this, the that? Now, then there's a turmoil again. Mm-hmm. But it's not like the controlling or nothing like that. It's just about communicating and being one and understanding each other. So that's a big deal.
Before you go in, you want to tell them about the website that they can go and check out?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought it up. Who did it?
You.
So credit to me. # the best. So guys, our official website is ready and up. Okay. So let me see. I'm gonna put it in the chats. I'm gonna put it up later. But it is, I have it up here, your profile. Hold on, babe. You're going to have to, so talk about our website really quick.
So our website right there's where you can also connect with us. You can send us a personal message, or if you have a topic you want us to discuss. Also, you get to learn more about us as the Barkers, as our family. We got our YouTube connected with it as well to watch videos.
So we're going to put more of us on YouTube as far as like the family, the kids. Brandon is going to put some tutorials, even if it's just short couple of minutes, guys. Like our goal is to increase education, to bring families more closer, to unite the marriages, to escalate the love, of course, grow in sex and intimacy. So even if it's a few minutes, I know you were mentioning teaching certain stuff, even if it's just 5 minutes short clip of how to do certain things on YouTube, or how to put some things together, or even as a husband and a father, videos with the kids, videos how he is. We just had a game tonight. He's a coach. He was supposed to win the game, but whatever, it's all good. But amazing coach. So little stuff like that. Like I have the recordings that we're gonna load as moms. When I'm home, I work from home. When I'm with the kids, when I'm multitask, just different things go on. It's actually got it. It is direct.me/Barker Worldwide.
Can you type it in?
All right, so I'm gonna type it in. How do I type on here, babe?
Right here.
Right here. Okay, right there.
Yeah.
So it's direct. What is it? .me / Barker Worldwide. Okay, guys. So go Barker Worldwide. Okay, that's it, I believe. Okay, so look it up. I'm also gonna tag it, and I'm also gonna put it on our Facebook. Direct.me / Barker Worldwide. Connect with us, email us, message any. If there's topics that you guys are like, okay, they're bold and they're talking about a lot of crazy things, we won't say no names. We'll keep you guys anonymous. But if there's things that you're like, man, I'm suffering in my marriage because of this, or I'm struggling because of that, or I have a challenge with this, or let's talk good stuff.
Yeah, let's
enlighten it.
If it's any difficult,
positive, anything.
You listen. This is what it is. If it's any difficult conversations, we really want to have that. Because that's the thing with a lot of people now. A lot of difficult conversations people are not having, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle it. And I'm not saying we're an expert, but it's always good to get good advice from somebody that's looking from the outside in, instead of just having that 1 and 2 person view.
And decrease divorce.
Yeah, so that's another thing, like I said. And if it's something that we spoke about, and you really wanted us to get more in depth and talk about it, you can actually go to our site again and check that out. We also have our classes where you can register for our classes as well on there too. That we'll do personal classes with you and your significant other.
And coaching and different topics.
Different topics, or different situations, or even I want to say, ask us like, hey, how do y'all go about this? How do y'all think about this? And it's all with love. I'm gonna tell you guys like that. Every time we come on here, it's with love. We're helping other people. And the thing about this journey that we're on is we've been thought about this years ago. Because like I said, we went through a lot. We went through a lot before this, and stuff like that. I was doing my thing. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I was doing my thing.
We'll get into him doing his thing, and
you doing your thing.
Me doing my thing, and a whole different life, because it's big. We got to talk about these things.
Yeah. So, and then how we got to the point where we're at, and what are we doing? And that's why, if you saw last week, the topic was really invest in your marriage. You know what I mean? So you got to start investing in these type of things to really keep things going and keep things moving the way you want to move. Because marriage is not just every day go to work, come home, she cook, I do the kids, do dishes, whatever. Go back to work, come home, we have sex, whatever. And ain't nothing getting talked about. Oh, we talk about the bills. Oh, we just plan a vacation. But it's problems. We know problems gonna come about.
Yeah, matter of fact, I put that up today on my page, on the marriage page. Guys, the Instagram page is also on our website, direct.me / Barker Worldwide. It's on our page as well. But I put on there, my friend put it. She killed it. I was like, girl, I'm sharing this. It said, you get up. She said, just in other terms, work is hard, right? But you still get up and go to work and fight through it. Marriage is hard, but you still get up. We fight through our marriage and get through it. And, That's one of the things I put down on my notes is, do you have a happy marriage? Maybe there are some of us that marriage might just only be a title because you see it not happy, because you're not, as things aren't working out, or you might be going through, a phase that is just like, man, can we get out of this? Because this is just nasty, it's ugly. I don't even want this man or wife, or I don't want this marriage. Or so maybe marriage in the back of your mind might not be the best. You might have a different, cloud about it. So,
and also, growing up, did you see that example?
Yeah,
I'm talking about in your immediate household, not with the grandma and grandfather. You know what I mean? I'm talking about in your immediate household. Was there an example of a good, loving marriage?
Because why? Did you have that?
No, I grew up with the boyfriends. And I don't know if they was just there to pay the bills or to help.
So your parents were divorced.
Yes, my parents was divorced. So a lot of this, and when it came to, and that's another thing, when it came to getting married, how did I know this was the one? Right? Because my mom had passed before we got married. She didn't give me no direction on, this is the girl you should marry. A lot of people get that advice. This is the girl to marry. So how did I, and we'll talk about that later too.
That's a good topic. Write it down right here.
How did I figure out this is the one?
Right there for the men talk, right? Yeah. So I actually wrote that down so we won't make this as long again either. I actually wrote that down. So he mentioned, so he grew up from a divorced household. I grew up from a single parent household. My father passed away when I was 9. And, my mom, she was a single parent. She had maybe like a boyfriend here and there, but not that serious. She did remarry, or she did marry, should I say. And it wasn't the best ideal stepfather in history. So I was like, he ain't nothing. So, we didn't see the best. I did see my grandparents though. I grew up with my grandparents. My grandmother raised me while my mother had, to work different jobs so I can go to a private school, background about me. And I did see my grandparents till literally their deathbed, 80-something years later, 70-something years later, still together. And I did see my grandparents happy, in love. Like, my grandfather was crazy about my grandmother. My grandmother used to be like, boy, leave me alone. But she also was crazy about him, and we saw that. And she used to always tell us things when I was younger that I never really understood about what she was saying with marriage and men, but now married, I get it. And those are things I will say when it comes to ladies' night, stuff that my grandmother used to mention to me. So I did see that part. I also have, uncles and aunts that have been married 25 plus years. You know what I mean? So for me, I always knew in the back of my mind, I do not want to be a baby mother. I do not want to be just the girlfriend. I didn't want that. I wanted my kids to have what I didn't really have established as far as like the dad, the mom, because I would see my friends with the parents, and stuff like that. So you kind of, want that. So I put that on here. How do you want your kids to see marriage? Right? Is it just like we said? It's just a title. Like do you want your kids just to see, like Brandon said, the routine, the title, mom is at home, dad's working, mom is cooking, mom is doing laundry, like what people think marriage is. Because one thing I'm gonna say, let's get it clear: there's no specific roles for anyone, because you help each other. Like the whole mom does the laundry, that's out the box in this household, because I don't do the laundry, Brandon does. But however, I do the folding. I do the semi-folding and put it away 3 weeks later, but it gets put away. And he knows where his stuff is at because I tell him, right? You know what I'm saying? The wife got to cook and clean this and that. No, I don't even like to cook. I barely cook. I'm working on it this year. But Brandon, he loves the cooking. He loves the chef. He should really have his own restaurant, which that hopefully one day will come to manifest, right? So all that stigma of marriage this and marriage that, get it out the head. Go read what the Bible really has to say about it. Go look at successful marriages, how they're running it, how they're, together, committed, communicating and stuff, right? So I put that, how do you want your kids to see that? We tell Francisco and Fabian, mommy, I tell them a lot. Mommy loves daddy. I tell, especially Francisco, because Fabian don't want to hear it. Fabian is too jealous. But I tell Francisco, you know how much mommy loves daddy? You know how grateful and thankful I am for daddy? You know how grateful you should be for daddy being being home with us? Because hey guys, like we're at the point that we talking about some things with Francisco. And he has some friends that the father maybe passed away, or they're separated, or they don't live in the same house. So we talk about it with him. Like, not everyone is fortunate to have the mom and dad, the marriage, the relationship, the love. You know, so we want our kids to see that. We want our kids to have the marriage, you know, the wife, the kids, and, you know, go to church and have a relationship and build the kingdom with the family for God and what God wants us to do, because that's really what he wants us to do, you know.
And that's great. That was really great.
Thank you, sweetie. Good job. Sexy thing. Y'all gotta compliment the spouse not all the time.
So,
what, the kids?
Oh, a good movie with the kids.
Oh, we need to put this on our site.
Yeah, we'll put with this site. But if you got kids, especially if you got, you know,
or even without kids, I would have loved to learn that when they were little.
Yeah, so especially if you got more than one kid, or your kid is about to leave the household, a good movie is good on Netflix. It's called Like Arrows on Netflix. Check that out. Like Arrows. That's a great movie.
We're going to get off this one because it's about to die. So bye, guys. Go to our website.
We'll see y'all later. You put the website on there?
No, I'm going to do it right now.
Okay. All right.
What's about the movie?
But, yes, it also just relate with how family can go sometimes, you know, in a different direction than what you expected, you know, and how to get back to that relationship with putting, you know, God first in your family, in your household, and in your marriage, you know. See you guys later on.
Thanks for tuning in.
Instagram.
Deuces.
You can follow me, but we're about to get off anyway.
Yeah. Bye.